what's going on, you guys? I wanted to do a Q&A video. Okay, I've never done one before. Just reply to some of the comments that were left on the video that I made yesterday about Brook and Spence. Uh, I've never done one before. This will be my first one, but I know they're popular on YouTube, whatever genre of videos you do, whether it's sports or boxing or whatever, music, whatever it is that you do. A lot of people like to make videos replying to the comments that are left on their videos. Okay, so this will be my first one. All right, I figured that this was a big topic. This is something, the whole Errol Spence thing. Um, Out of all of the more up and coming boxers in recent memory, or at least that I've done on this channel, besides maybe Adrian Broner, I think people have overrated him more than any other boxer. Okay, um, just to make this clear, because someone that one of my longtime subscribers left me a tweet saying that he was pointing out that I called him overrated. One of the first things I said in my video, that I called Errol Spence overrated, and that's not what I said. I said the fans are overrating him. Okay, doesn't mean I personally overrate him. I think he's very talented. I just have a problem with people overrating him. Okay, they're making it seem like everyone else that have put their work in the division need to fight him. Okay, I think that's very unfair to the guys that has actually won the titles, okay, and beat the best fighters in the division at 147. I think that's unfair to those guys, like Sean Porter, like Brook, like Keith Thurman, like Danny Garcia. I think it's unfair to those guys, even the guys that's over there in Top Rank, like Manny Pacquiao, like Tim Bradley. For this kid to come up out of nowhere and not having to fight any top welterweight yet, but they're making it seem as if these other top fighters need to fight Errol Spence to prove themselves. Okay, that's what I have a problem with. If you don't understand that, then I don't know what else to say to you. I want to give an example before I start these questions or these comments. I want to give another example exactly what I'm talking about, if you didn't get what I said yesterday. And I will be making more videos on this fight. I will. That's a promise. Because, I listened to my own video and I realized I spent 75% of the video ranting about everything else but the actual breakdown of the fight. I think that's unfair for the guys that want to hear why I believe the fight is going to go. So I kind of did that at the end of the video, and when you talk for so long, it's just like you want to get that out of the way. So I will do a more thorough breakdown of the fight as it get closer at some point. So definitely look out for that. But another point I wanted to make, I was watching Keith Thurman press conference after the fight, right? His post-fight interview, and they asked him, "Listen, who do you expect to fight?" All right, of course I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what he said. I don't remember, but they asked him about Brook fighting Errol Spence. Would you fight? You just unify the title. Would you want to fight one of those two? Have 3 belts. And yeah, Keith kind of danced around the question because, I don't want to make any excuses for him. I mean, he could very well fight the winner of that fight maybe next. I don't know. Maybe he could. Maybe he won't. I don't know what he's going to do. But he has been very active, and he has been fighting nothing but top fighters in the division, And, he was like, listen, I don't know what I'm going to do. He said straight up, I don't know, I don't know if it's going to be one of them. I don't know if it's going to be a mandatory. I don't know if it's going to be a stay busy fight. That's what he said. He said, I don't know. Of course, 3 titles is better than 2. But he didn't give a straight answer as far as fighting one of those 2 next. I really don't believe that Keith Thurman will fight the winner of that fight in his very next fight. I don't believe he will. I just don't believe that. He said that he'll try to get another fight in by the end of the year. Right? He doesn't want to go another year just fighting one opponent again, which I think is a good idea because he hasn't really been that active, But I think 2015 he fought both Guerrero and Collazo. 2016 he fought Porter. That was it. And then 2017 he just fought Danny Garcia. But anyway, let me get to my point. My point is, I was reading the comments, right? And everybody was talking about how Thurman was dancing around the question. He's ducking Errol Spence. And this is exactly what I have a problem with. Because Errol Spence didn't even beat Kell Brook yet. Yet everyone is saying specifically he's ducking Errol Spence by not giving them the answer that they wanted to hear. They wanted Thurman to say, I'll fight Spence next. Or I'll fight the winner of that fight next. But everyone is saying, not Kell Brook. Look up the video. I think it might have been a Fight Hype video. All right? Everyone leaving comments is saying, Keith Thurman is ducking Errol Spence. Not Kell Brook. Knowing he has to fight Kell Brook. This is exactly of the fanboy talk that I'm talking about. Right here. He didn't even beat Kell Brook yet. Alright, I remember just months ago when Kell Brook was set and scheduled to fight Gennady Golovkin, there were people on here talking about Kell Brook boxing ability better than anyone that Golovkin has faced, even though he's smaller, blah, 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 blah. Hyping up that fight. I mean, Kell Brook is a very, very talented fighter, but now it's like we're just completely overlooking the fact that he has to fight. Errol Spence has to fight Kell Brook in his very next fight. Completely overlooking that. He's ducking Errol Spence. They didn't say he's ducking Kell Brook and Errol Spence. They said he's ducking Errol Spence as if they already know Errol Spence is going to win that fight. Like Kell Brook is just some bum. Even though we'd never seen him lose before. Even though Kell Brook beat Sean Porter better than Keith Thurman did. People are just dismissing Kell Brook like he's nobody. I have a problem with that. That's the kind of fanboyism that I'm talking about. Not trying to take away from Errol Spence. Do I think he's very good? Yes. Do I think he has a great chance of winning this fight? Of course. I think he's very talented. But guys don't know how to, they take it way too far. They take it way too far. Like, dude, let the kid prove himself. Let him prove himself. Let him beat the fighters that he needs to beat. Let him do that. You're not even giving him that opportunity. You're already saying he's the best. You're already saying that the guys, the top dogs at the welterweight division need to fight him to prove themselves. That's not true. Kell Brook is new. He's new. He's newer. All these other guys, they were in his position before. It doesn't matter if you think he's better. These other guys are proven to be the top fighters. Not Errol Spence. He's not proven yet. We think he is based on what we see. When I look at him, he looks legit. He looks like he could be the best in the division. Could be. But we got to see it. Do you understand? Capiche? Now, let me go to these these comments. Vontae Williams. You right, bro. Not only could he get exposed and defeated, he could get KO'd in a fight. I'm also picking Kell Brook as well. Can't say he will win, but just because everybody's saying he will. All right. Pretty much agreeing. Von Regular says, great video. Thank you. Von, thank you. Appreciate it. Greg Clark left a couple comments here. Thurman fought the same guys before Porter and Danny. We will see May 27. It will be a great fight. Brook is a beast, though. All right, cool. Northside General. You be watching too much The Wire videos. Over-analyzing shit. Spence gonna trash Brook. Only difference is Spence's career is that he's getting his shot. Brook try to find any way to avoid this dude. Can't escape now. Same like Triple G. He ain't fought nobody. Yet all the top 10 contenders continue to avoid him at all costs. Spence wins by KO in the eighth or earlier round. Period. Northside General. These are the guys I'm talking about. You know, he's winning, period. Now, if he loses, because listen, I've been doing videos for a long time. I have 700 videos uploaded. Right? When I make my predictions, and it's not a favorite prediction, okay? It's not a popular prediction, but I'm right. Guys like these, they disappear. You know? They don't come back to my videos. Yo, you was right. Some of them do, but most of them don't. You know? You know, he said Brook didn't fight anyone. I guess Sean Porter's nobody. All right? I do think Brook didn't want to fight him. Maybe he did. I don't know. I know Brook tried to fight Amir Khan before fighting Spence. You know, I know Brook was considering moving up in weight. I know Brook didn't seem too interested in fighting Errol Spence because you know, he wasn't popular enough. You know, I don't believe Kell Brook actually wanted to fight him. You know, because this kid, we don't know how good he is. You know, everybody at 147 would probably prefer him fight another top fighters first before they fight him themselves. So that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel. But I'm not going to go off and just say that everyone is avoiding him. You know, because he's only the mandatory for one belt. And just because Floyd Mayweather brought him out and said, "Oh, I want Errol Spence to fight Keith Thurman for my belt, one of my belts that I'm giving up." That's not how it works, Floyd. But that's where the hype band started. That's where it started. When Floyd came out and said, "I want these two," who was Floyd to call those kind of shots? Keith Thurman been trying to fight you. Why must he fight Errol Spence? Why don't you fight Errol Spence yourself? That's what I said back when I found out that Floyd was fighting Andre Berto. You guys remember that. Some of you will. You know, some of you didn't like that video, but I don't really care. You know, I'm not here to jump on any bandwagons. All right? I don't know none of you dudes in person. I'm here to say my piece. You know, comments like these, you know, everybody's avoiding Errol Spence. No, he's only mandatory for one belt. You know, all of these guys are trying to get the best fights they want. Kell Brook is trying to get the fight with Amir Khan and Manny Pacquiao. You know, Keith Thurman was trying to get the fight with Danny Garcia and Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Why would they fight Errol Spence? What did Errol Spence do? Yes, he looks tough, but what did he do? What did he accomplish? Whose mandatory is it? He just became the mandatory for the IBF. So what are you talking about? Everybody's avoiding him. Nobody's avoiding him. It's that all these guys are looking for a greater fight. Errol Spence hasn't proven himself. Do I think he's good? And I'm going to keep repeating this. Do I think he's good? Yes. Do I think he's one of the best? Yes. Has he proven it? No. Hell no. Not by beating Chris Algieri. No, he didn't. Next comment. I keep saying video. Autonomy of Anxiety says, BoxingWave, in the future, when you do these videos, please do us a favor and don't add music in the video. It's distracting. Someone said, and then somebody leaves a comment, there's nothing he can do about that. He lives in an elevator. Yo, that's funny. I post videos because there's more people that actually love the music in my videos. So I do like putting music. There's people that love the music. I keep saying videos. I don't know why. People love music in my videos. I've been adding music to my videos for years now. You know, some videos I don't do it. You know, sorry if it annoys you, but you said do us a favor. You're the only one complaining. All right. Look. Lamar Watkins says, "Look, the reason why everyone is high on Spence is no one will fight him at the top level. Kell Brook is about to fight him. You know, like I just said, he wasn't a mandatory for no one's belt. And everybody else was gunning for bigger names and bigger money. All the other fighters, the top fighters, had proven themselves. All right, when you're just when you are this good, you know, and you're on the come up, and you're a prospect, guys are gonna fight the names before they fight the guy on the come up. You know." Excellent video, well said by John John. Thank you. Detroit's Finest says, "Great video, BoxingWave. You make a lot of great points. One that you touched on but didn't elaborate on was when Bundle fought Errol. He was able in the first 2 rounds force Spence to fight off the back foot by pressuring him and was having success. I was surprised because it was the first time I saw that happen to Spence since following him. Fortunately, Bundu couldn't keep it up for whatever reason. So in a nutshell, I can see Brook pushing Spence back in spots in the fight. How much success he'll have is left to be seen." Exactly what I'm saying. It's left to be seen. We don't know. He could push back Spence. Maybe he'll get pushed back. But what I do know is that Brook fights well even while getting pushed back. And that's the point I was trying to make before. Can Errol do that? I have no idea. Never seen him under any kind of pressure. All right? Another thing I wanted to bring up that I didn't bring up in the video. Kell Brook is very, very durable. I don't know if you guys notice. Okay? Has he been knocked down? I can't remember if he has. Carson Jones first fight was tough for him. I felt like he was getting beat up more in that fight than any other fight, even compared to Gennady Golovkin. I think the second half of that Carson Jones fight, Kell Brook was getting beat up pretty bad. Okay, but he destroyed him in a rematch, so it doesn't matter. Okay. He fought Sean Porter. Obviously, we saw what happened. That was a tough fight. That was his biggest fight. And he looked fine in that fight. And Gennady Golovkin, you know. Gennady Golovkin has beat the hell out of so many middleweights, yet Brook seemed more gassed than hurt when that fight was stopped. Even with half his face being broken. He was still up there taking the punches. All right? Everyone that's saying that Errol Spence is going to trash Kell Brook, just know that Kell Brook is not only is he a big welter, but he's a very durable one. Okay, he's taking big shots from one of the hardest hitters in boxing today, Gennady Golovkin. Just wanted to throw that out there. 978 Diplomats 34. Where do I start? Facts. Great video. Okay. Like you said, Wave, established fighters have to go through someone who hasn't faced decent competition. Damn, Wave forced it. Shout out to 978 Diplomats. Great channel. Subscribe to him. Yeah, you know, I've seen his videos, you know. He thinks he's one of the few people that I've seen that said that Kell Brook is going to win. You know, he feels the same way I feel, basically, you know. Black Fight Fan TV. New York, New York is the only city. It's the city of dreams, and everything in New York ain't always what it seems. LOL, great video, brother. Good luck with that prediction. Thanks, Black Fight Fan. Appreciate it. Mario Rhodes. Hell yeah, they are my sentiment exactly. I can't tell if he's confident or arrogant of late. I like Spence, don't get me wrong, but Algeria is the best fighter on his resume. I agree. Algieri's the best fighter by far. I think Algieri would beat Leonard Bundle without too much of a problem. And Algieri is no top welterweight. He's not even a top 20 welterweight in my opinion. You know, he's arguably a top 20, and if you think he is a top 20 welterweight, he's like 19. You know, not to diss him. It's just what has he proven at welterweight? But I think he's better than Leonard Bundle. You know, I think he's definitely the most decorated, fighter that Errol Spence has faced. Regardless of skill and what you see and what you think is good, he's definitely the most decorated fighter that Errol Spence has faced. Okay. Uh Danny Bursford, wavy speaking facts. That's right. That's all I do. What's going on, boxing world? It's the facts king. Now, let me stop playing. I ain't the facts king, but I try to speak facts if I could. Dope-ish says, I'm rooting for Spence, but I agree, Wave. From the eye test, he looks like he might be the real deal, but he hasn't been tested. This fight is 50-50 in my opinion. Both guys have skills. This will definitely be a test to see if Spence is ready. I think they are evenly matched skill set-wise, but some UK fans act like Brook resume is stacked. His best win was only Porter, but he does have the edge on experience. I have no problem with that. Outside of Porter, Spence ain't do too much, but Porter is a big win, man. Porter is definitely a big win. Porter to me is a top 5 welterweight right now, even with the losses to Brook and Thurman. Porter's tough to beat. So I don't even know if Errol Spence can beat Porter, because Porter is great at taking you away, whatever your game plan is, he could remove you from that. He's so aggressive. You're not going to get more aggressive than him. And he's a bigger welterweight. He's a guy that used to fight at 160. He's an ex-football player, and he fights like it, Moving on. Stefano, great video. I'll be at the fight, can't wait. Has the potential to be fight of the year. I think so. I think this fight is going to be better than Danny against Keith Thurman. I think this fight here is going to be, I think it's going to be Porter Thurman level. Okay? Because even though I picked Kell Brook to win, I don't think it's going to be easy. Okay? I think the fight, when it's all said and done, and I think it's going to go decision either way, I think when it's all said and done, I think even though I'm picking Kell to win, I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for him. I think it's going to be a tough fight, and it's going to be very competitive. And I think even whatever they decide, I think fans are going to be leaving very happy about the outcome. Okay. Dark Heart left a couple comments. I agree. People are overrating him a bit, but that doesn't mean he isn't the goods. Come May 27, he will see the truth. One thing, Wave, the Ghost fought Common Guy before he fought Keith. I know. What I was saying is, I know when I said that, I know there was Common Guy. The reason why I said coming off of the Floyd win is because, or coming off of the Floyd loss, is because that was his only recent loss. And coming off of that fight, he was still a big name. He was still a guy that people felt was a top welterweight. I know he fought Common Guy after that. But I was just stressing Floyd. I skipped Common Guy because I didn't bother to bring him up, because I know people are going to be like, oh, he fought Common Guy. Who's that? All right. Which was a good fight, by the way. And that's the thing about Robert Guerrero. I think Robert Guerrero, that's why I said Keith. I think Keith fighting him, I think that win against Guerrero was a big win for Keith, because Guerrero didn't go into, through so many wars after Floyd, that by the time that his last, Danny got to him, and the last guy that beat him got to him. Guerrero had already been through so many wars, and that's why I said if Andre Berto is to fight him like right now and have that rematch, I just don't think Guerrero's that same fighter because Guerrero had been through so many wars. He even went to war with Andre Berto, you know. All right, Walski I'm saying Brook wins on points. He took Golovkin's power shots and came back for more. Spence doesn't have the same power as Golovkin. Very true. Good point. Ben Cap, excellent video. There's been far too much overhyping with this guy. He could be the truth, but we certainly don't know yet. So many people, for some reason, think he's going to come over the pond in front of 35,000 hostile fans and walk through arguably the best welterweight in the division. It's laughable. People need to calm themselves down a bit. I agree. He's going to be fighting on a stage he's never fought before. He's going to be fighting for his first title. How many guys choke when they get this opportunity? Or right before they get this opportunity? How many times did Lucas Matisse choke on his biggest fights? Look what happened to Amir Imam recently. How many upsets did we get last year? We got a lot of upsets last year. What happened to Adrian Broner when he fought Marcus Maidana and he was the favorite to win? That was one of my first predictions. Well, that was one of my first predictions that I got wrong on the channel. When guys step up, sometimes they lose. They stepped up, and not only is he stepping up, but he's going to this guy's hometown. Mr. Classic Metal. That is an interesting video, very informative, and you state your points and arguments very well. Thank you. Appreciate it. Marcel Jordan. He knocked Floyd out, bro. He knocked Floyd out. I think he's talking about sparring rumors. He didn't knock Floyd out, okay? There's rumors that he might have knocked out Adrian Broner. All right, I heard that he hurt Broner, and then I heard that he knocked him out. Never heard anything about him knocking out Floyd. I heard that he might have gave Floyd a black eye, and Floyd went to kick him out. Okay, and then he changed his mind and let him come back. But I didn't hear anything about Floyd getting knocked out. All right, unless Marcel, you was there. Hawker Mustang. There are many extreme Aerosmith fanboys in the LDPC. They are already worshiping the guy. I mean, yeah, but Hawker, I know you. All right, you on that. You are one of the main dudes in the middle of this PBC, side war thing. I know how you are. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? I know how you are. You're on that side. And there's a lot of people on the other side that's overrated. I get it. But you're on the side. Let's not act like you're on the side. You're on that side. Bernardo Brito. Keep it real. When Keith Thurman was coming up, he was calling out Paulie Malignaggi. Yeah, he called Paulie Malignaggi out because he was sitting right there in the room. All right, Keith Thurman has called out plenty of fighters. All right, he called out Floyd for a long time, and he was the WBA regular champion. He called out Kell Brook. He said he'll go and fight Kell Brook over there. He's called out Manny Pacquiao. He's called out Tim Bradley. He's called out plenty of other welterweights. He's been calling out Danny Garcia. He's called out Adrian Broner. All right, and not just Paulie Malignaggi. You just seen that on camera. That's why he said that. He left another comment. He left a few, matter of fact. I can't see. Where did you go to school? Which SUNY? And is that Pace off topic? I don't like getting too personal on here, but I went to Post in Connecticut. I went to Delaware State. I transferred. I didn't finish school there. I stayed there for a very short period of time. Went to Post in Connecticut and got my bachelor's in computer science. All right. He left one more comment. Even if you disagree with the prediction in this video, how can you dislike this video? This is what boxing videos should be. This is why I like Wave and the Virus so much. Thank you. Appreciate the love, The Wire is a great channel. I mean, I wish I'd had a tenth of the knowledge of boxing knowledge that guy has. Great channel. I'm a big fan of his channel and many others. Um, there's plenty of good channels that keep it really honest on here, though. Check out Mr. Boxing Today. I think that's. I don't think you're gonna get any more honest than him. You know, great channel. A lot of people compare me to him too. He's a great channel, heavyweight channel. Check him out. Brandon White. I've said it before and I have said it again. BoxingWave gives the best rant videos. I don't know if you said that on here before. There's always somebody that says this same thing every time I make a rant video. Maybe one or two guys, but yeah, I get pissed off, and then once I turn on the camera, I just go in. I go in. But thank you, appreciate it. Chris Bergen. I couldn't agree more. It's going to be a great fight. Brook to win by a unanimous decision. Yeah, I mean, I think Brook is going to win. I think he's going to take it. I don't know if it's going to be unanimous. It might be split, majority or whatever, but I don't know. We'll see. Emit Somla. I'm sorry if I said the names wrong, but heard Algieri's knee was injured. He thought his inside game was superior and didn't expect Spence to be as strong as he was. You know what? I think I might have heard Algieri say that in a post-fight interview. I think I might have heard that. I don't remember about his knee, but I think I maybe I do. I think I did hear Algieri say that. All right, we might be right, but still, with that being said, still, I mean, even with the way he came out, because I was watching a little bit of it the other day, and I don't know, he definitely wasn't moving too much. He made it easy for Spence, in my opinion. All right, Olaf the Mighty. I didn't realize the fight was in the UK. That's huge for Kell Brook. I still think that Kell won't be the same fighter that he was against Porter due to the going up and down into weight classes. Historically speaking, jumping up and down multiple weight classes never seems to go well for fighters. You are absolutely correct that we are all jumping the gun on Spence. Let's hope he is the truth. He finally has the opportunity to prove it at least. Listen, I don't even need to say I need to eat crow if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. The point that I'm trying to make here is that Spence hasn't proven himself. You know what I'm saying? That's the point that I'm trying to make. He has an opportunity to prove himself now by beating Kell Brook in his very next fight coming up. But what I'm saying is the reaction of people right now, as if he's the boogeyman of the 147 division, yet he has not fought no one except Chris Algieri. I'm going to say Chris Algieri from now on. I'm not even going to bring up Leonard Bundle anymore. Because before he fought and lost, got swept by Keith Thurman, we wasn't even checking for him. Nobody was checking for him. I've never seen a Leonard Bundle video on YouTube before. I've never seen him mentioned in any comments or any boxing discussion. Ever. All right? Yeah, fighting in the UK is a big deal, The thing about the weight, listen, I brought that up before. And to the guy that compared me to Wire and saying I'm overanalyzing, the Wire didn't. We don't even have. I don't know if he made a video recently, but me and him don't even share the same opinion on this fight. Last time I checked, he had Spence winning, so I don't even know what that guy was talking about. But as far as weight, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't think he's going to be a problem. If Brook was an older guy, then yeah, But I think the difference, why I don't think it's that bad is because he's already a bigger guy that cuts down 3 or 4 weight divisions to make weight. Okay. Instead of cutting down to 147, he cut down to 160 to fight Golovkin. Okay. It's not like he bulked up to fight Golovkin. He just cut down, but not as much. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Now, if you're saying that, coming down 147, he hasn't done it in a while, okay, but it really hasn't been that long. I don't think his last fight before Golovkin was busier, and that really wasn't that long ago. I think Kell Brook's going to be fine. All right, like I said all the time, too much weight talk with boxing fans today. People don't talk enough about the skills. All right, too much weight this, weight that, cutting down this. Too much of that. SL500 says, preach, brother, preach, boxing waves. That's exactly why I love your channel, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it. Foul pole boxing. If Spence doesn't hit harder than Thurman, then he is going to be in trouble against Brook. I really don't think any of that matters. I think they both hit hard. I don't think Spence has one punch KO power. I think he accumulates enough damage in a short period of time. He will knock you out. He will stop you. I don't think all that power talk matters. When it comes to Thurman and Spence, and this is the reason why I think Spence has a better chance of beating Thurman than he does Brook. Because Thurman, if you're able to weather the storm against Thurman in the beginning, you can beat him in the end. I think if Spence is able to keep up with Thurman the first few rounds, all right, if he's able to deal with Thurman early, I think his pressure would be too much for Thurman in the later rounds, okay? All right, when he's a little tired, he's a little gassed, he's not moving as much. I think Thurman would be a little bit more trouble later in the fight, because now we see that Thurman, we seen in the Guerrero fight, we seen, in the Garcia fight where he was taking a break, taking the rest of the night off. If he fights Spence, he might not need to do that. But what I'm saying is, I think Spence and his pressure, it would be in trouble. It would be tough for Thurman. I don't know. But all that power talk, I don't think it's really matters. St. Cruising. Spence might be the best welter. Key word, might. He does look real good, though. We'll know when he fights Brook. I think we all expected more from Berto back then. Fine rant. Thank you. Thank you. Chris Jackson says, great video. I'm also picking Kell by UD. Spence is very talented, but we don't know how good he is until he fights Kell Brook. People are hyping him up too much. They're already saying that Spence beats Crawford, Thurman, and Porter. It's nothing wrong with saying you think he can beat the guy. All right? But when you're saying that everybody else is ducking him and avoiding him, that's a problem. Okay? Avoiding, we use the term, it's very common. None of these guys have to fight him except Kell Brook. We do realize that, right? There's nothing wrong when a guy says, I think he beats Crawford, or I think he beats Thurman, or I think he beats Porter. That's cool. We just, we're matching ideas and opinions because this is boxing. This is what we do. Until the fight happens, we go back and forth with who we think are the best and how we think our fight is going to go. JD says, the fight would start with the two jabs touching, then Brook will lower Spence's jab by out-jabbing Spence until Spence goes back to the habit and starts to pour his jab. Then Brook will counter or hook over Spence's jab combined with the straight right. Brook will keep the fight in the center of the ring. I just don't see Spence making a dogfight like Porter. Spence relies on his jab to get inside to do his body work, and when he does get inside, I don't see Spence sustaining a body attack without Brook tying up or fighting back. Brook is strong enough. Brook will outthink Spence. That would force Spence to get desperate and do what he doesn't usually do, which will open up more opportunities. I like this guy right here, JD, because he's saying exactly how I feel. Because if it's not working for him, and this is why I have to do another video, because I didn't give you a true breakdown. I usually do breakdowns of the fight. I give you a thorough breakdown for what you could expect from both fighters. I didn't give you that because I talked too damn much long about all the fanboys. But that was a great comment. I agree with this guy, JD. Like this comment. Because I feel like I feel like if Spence is losing a fight on points, he's gonna apply more pressure because that's what he does, and he's gonna leave himself open. All right, and that's when the fight could really go bad for him. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Y'all could come back here and slander me like any other video. I say that all the time, but we'll see. Sean Newton, truth. He may be. Let's sit back and watch. Yes, let's sit back and watch, and that's all I'm asking. Let's sit back and watch. We'll see. That's all we can do right now. Unless somebody left any recent. Yeah, that's it. So guys, I know it's a long video. All right. This is my first time doing a Q&A type of video. Just wanted to respond to some of the comments and leave more comments about and thoughts on the fight. We get plenty of upsets in boxing. We get too many of them for you guys to just go and jump off the roof and say that Spence is the man at the division. He's the boogeyman and everybody's dunking him. No. Do I personally think anyone wants to fight him? No. But you know what? I do believe that these top fighters are waiting for their big payday. They're waiting for their big opportunity. They come up and moved up amongst the ranks and they want their title. And when a guy like Spence, who hasn't done any of that yet, comes out of the blue and he's very good, let's really look at it and say, okay, well, Thurman is looking at him like, hey, I was him. And he said this in an interview. I was that guy. Porter, I was that guy on a come up. I want to fight Floyd. This is when Floyd was fighting. When people were saying Spence was avoiding him back then. Because all it took Floyd to get the pressure off Floyd of fighting Keith Thurman. All he had to say, I want Keith Thurman to fight Errol Spence for my title. And once he said that, everyone forgot that Thurman, Floyd should be fighting Keith Thurman. Of course he doesn't have to. He's Floyd Mayweather. He can do whatever he wants. But I'm saying the guy is the regular champion at the W or super or whatever. And last point, Manny Pacquiao. I know I guess the Khan fight's not working out. Regardless, Manny Pacquiao's not being brought up by anyone. Why is that? Okay. If Top Rank and PBC is supposed to be on decent terms, if we did get Floyd Mayweather against Manny Pacquiao, okay, and we've had other fights. Can't think of off the top other fights, but the fight can be made. I remember listening to a Manny Pacquiao interview this year saying that he was trying to fight 3 times this year. Why not fight Keith Thurman? Okay, and Keith, I don't know why he didn't bring up Manny Pacquiao. I don't know if he feels that the fight just wouldn't happen. I don't know. But regardless of whether or not you think it's going to happen or not, Keith Thurman should have at least called Pacquiao out because he is holding the title. It's not like act like Keith, Kell Brook, and Errol Spence are the only 2 options. The winner of that fight is the only option. No, there's still the WBO belt out there. And whether or not the business factor doesn't work out for you, at least try to make it happen. Put pressure on Al to make the fight. That's when you're not even trying to make the fight, then we're never going to see the fight. We're never going to get an undisputed champion at welterweight unless you fight Manny Pacquiao. All right, so I know everybody's talking about Spence. He needs to go through Spence. Just remember that Kell Brook and Manny Pacquiao hold titles at 147, not Errol Spence. All right, if he wins the fight, then we can talk. I'll change up my whole tune if he wins the fight. But he hasn't won anything yet. Okay? He just beat a former champion at a lower weight class. That's all he beat. All right, very good, very talented fighter, but I have to keep repeating myself because some of you guys need that. Anyway, I'm out. All right.